bit is how to create a simple data table, right? And we'll be using that Superstore data set, right? And we basically want to create a table that would show us the sales by the year, the region, and the category, right? That's basically what we'll be doing. So I'm going to clear this out because we don't need it. I'm just kind of showing you what to measure and dimension parameters do over there, right? So the first thing we want to do in order to create that, so let me see, I'm just going to rename this to data table. Okay. So the first thing we want to do there is basically drag our order date to from the dimensions area into columns, right? So order date, this is it over here, just drag it over there. So you can see it's a blue pill that shows us the dimensions, and we could see the different years, right? We're working with 2014, 2015, 2016, and 2017, right? Then the other thing you'd see is that Tableau is going to aggregate all of the dates. So if you click on this plus, it switches it to quarter. If you click on it again, it switches it to month. If you click on it again, it switches it to the day, right? So now you can see how expanded the table is, right? It goes through each month, each day of the month, right? For the different quarters, right? But we don't want to do any of that. So I'm just going to click on that minus sign, and it's going to close everything and basically take it back to the year, right? The next thing you want to do is also grab the category dimensions, which is up here, and take it to the rows as well, right? So now we have some, we have a row header, right, which Tableau has created, and we have the different categories, which is furniture, office supplies, and technology. Okay, the next thing we have to do now is grab the sales measure, right, and put that in the text area on the max card, right? So this is our max card here, max card. So we're gonna drag sales and put it in text. Now we could see all the sales for all the different years, right? And remember, Tableau would also aggregate it as well, right? We're basically looking at the total sales. So you could see $215,000 in 2017 for furniture, 246 for office supplies, and 271 for technology, right? So it's that. And then the other thing we could do is we could take the region, and then we could basically drop it to the left of category so that we can see what are the sales based on the category by the different regions, right, that our data is coming from. So I'm just going to grab region here and just drop it there. Okay, so this is basically what you get, right? So you can see from the central region, they've had furniture, office supplies, and technology, right? And this is the sale for the different years for the central region, and so on and so forth. Now, the other thing we want to do, which would basically make our data table very easy for people to quickly read, is to put the grand totals, right? So we'll put the grand totals for the row and then the grand totals for the column, so that if someone looks at it, it's like, oh, this is the total amount of items that were sold in 2014 based on all the different regions, right? That's when you look at it from a column perspective, right? And then for the row perspective, we could say, okay, so from the central, this is how much sale we made for the last years for furniture, right? So all you need to do is go up, click on analysis, right? Then go to totals, click on show column grand totals, and then a new row is created here that shows us the totals for all the items that were sold here in 2014. So in 2014, the supermarket basically, or the superstore basically sold $484,000, right? But then in 2017, they sold 733,000. And that's a huge increase from 2014 to 2017, right? Almost times two, right? So let's see. Yeah, like almost 1.5, right? In types of that. So that's good. All right, let's do the second one. So go to totals and then show the row brand totals. So now that's the row brand totals, right? So that there is our data table. So we've shown the grand total for the rows. We've also showed the grand total for the column, right? The other thing I like to do is just make my table look nice and presentable. I know it's looking really small here. You might be squinting your eye and all those different things. What I do is I click on this drop down menu here, and then you could say fit width, right? Oh, sorry, no. Entire view. Let me see. No. Okay, maybe we should leave it. Maybe we should leave it in standard. Yeah, maybe we should leave it in standard, but let's see. Let's do this instead. I'm just gonna format it. Change this to 12. Make it bold. All right. Yes. Format. Change this to 12. Make it bold. All right. So basically, just what I'm doing is just basically enlarging it, the font size, so that it's really bold and we can see it from everywhere. So here, change this to 12. This would make everything 12 and bold, so I don't have to do it one after the other, right? And then maybe I could just let's see, shift this a little bit. I'm just doing some aesthetics here to make it look really good, right? So no. Rows. Let's see. No. Go back. We need to. Let me see. Yes. Okay, so we want to go to columns and make sure that we have everything centered there. So we have this one centered. So no, I'm still getting the very wrong one. So oh, okay, I will get it. So format. Yes, okay. Good. All right. So you want to click on the justify and then sheet, and then on the pane, you just take it from automatic and put it on center justify, so that justifies everything for us. So let's see. The other thing, I don't want this. I'm just going to hide it. All right, so I have a very clean table. And then remember, we have to rename that. So you could double click it and you have this small box that shows up, and we'll just have it sales by year, region, and category. So I'm just going to bold that. It's by, and okay. So now we have all of that there, right? So we could see our furniture and all the different items. So that's basically how we create a data table, right? So feel free to basically pause the video, right, and rewatch it and make sure you get how I've basically tried to maneuver things to get to this point where we are on the chart. But that's the first, our first goal was to create a data table, and we have met that goal. All right, so let's go to the next sheet. And the next one is for us to, oh no, before we do that, let's go back to our data table. So basically, any stakeholder that we're doing this table for, if our question was, can we see how much items that has been sold for the last right, for the last 3 years, right? So basically from 2014 to 2017, this data table would basically show it to them by the year, the region, and the category, right? So the stakeholder or your manager can basically use it to see, oh, okay, for the different categories of last year, this is how much we have sold in different regions, right? And they can also see that the sale has been increasing from the first year that sales started, which was 2014. And you could see that by 2017, the company was making more sales compared to the first year, or even the second and the third year, right? Which is 2015 and 2016. Or sorry, the first and second year, 2015, 2016, right? Also, they could also see that they have sold $2.2 million. That's a lot of money that the company has sold. Okay, I think I'm missing one thing. I'm just going to format this again. Yeah, some sales. Okay, so I'm just going to change it to this. Okay, so we want everything to look like this. We want everything to be in dollars, right? So all I did was click the fields, change it to the sum sales, right? Because that's in dollars, and everything would show to you in dollars. Okay, so now the company would basically see that, right? They have sold $2.2 million in the last 2 years. That's a lot of money that has been generated, right? And the other thing is when you look at the different regions, right, based on different categories, compared to, if you try to compare the central to the east, right, I think there's more sales going on in the east than the central, because you could basically see it here, right? It's all the 200 figures, and this is still like in the hundreds, right? And then also if you compare the east to the west, right, there's also more sales going on in the west compared to the south, the east, and the central. So that data table gives them a quick summary of the different sales by region and year, and also the category. So that's basically how we would interpret this